please allow me also to pay tribute to the Nigerian people. These people who have suffered so much since the advent of the CNSP and who continue to remain standing. Thank you to the Nigerians who gave us a warm welcome yesterday when we set foot on the soil of our homeland here. You are more than friends, you are more than neighbors, you are our brothers, you are our sisters. Because fraternity goes beyond friendship or neighborhood. We have the same blood flowing through our veins. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who fought and who reserved these lands that we call Mali, Burkina, and Niger. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who helped the whole world get rid of Nazism and many other scourges. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who were deported from Africa to Europe, America, Asia, or whatever, and who helped build these states during slavery. In our veins flows the blood of worthy men, of robust men, of capable men. And for this, let us be proud and thank you for being a national of the AES. Africa, this continent which has suffered so much and which continues to suffer because of the imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind: Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our land belongs to them. Our basements belong to them. They have never been able to change software until today. It's deplorable. But how does he do it? It is unfortunately since the 1960s that these 6,000 acres of independence were given to Africa. They just placed local valleys at the head, according to them, of their sub-prefecture to be able to continue to supply them. These local valleys that we are going to describe today as living room slaves have no other guide than to seek to live like the master, to satisfy the master, and to do everything that the master dictates. They steal, they plunder our states, take everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like their master and always satisfy him. When the master commands, they execute. Do you know who these parlor slaves are? We will explain to you what it is. These are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the slave master always knew how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us until today for the benefit of their master. These individuals always continue against all odds to plunder Africa, to help the master to plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic survey, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. All right, if we are as poor as they say, but when the time came to take responsibility, we asked these masters to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave? Because we take the case of Niger. For more than 40 years, certain countries have exploited uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It's light. But in Niger, it's darkness. Security that served us. When you go to our states, our soils are drilled all over to search for precious metals such as gold. But often, there is not even the slightest accessible road to reach areas where they exploit some basic social services.
I am not a politician and I don't beat around the bush. I am a soldier and I prefer to tell you the truth. Everyone is free to take it or leave it. Everyone drives their car, everyone lives well. We eat in the morning, we eat in the afternoon and evening, and we do whatever we want to do. We are free to speak, to say what we want. This is democracy. This is the law. That's all. That's all we know in Ouagadougou. But go and see them, the children who are skin and bones. Go see those who are starving. Go see those women who can no longer breastfeed because they have nothing left in their breasts. Go see them. Let's not pretend. If our journalists don't have the courage to go out in the field and bring back these images, it's because we want to whitewash Burkina's image. I'm telling you, it's false. It exists. When I tell you about people who eat grass, those who want to contest, I will take them to see it continues. It hasn't even stopped, because we have managed to supply some villages, but others not yet. We are still on the way. No civilian can even support us with trucks, so we can show solidarity with these populations. What kind of integrity is this? What is integrity, Burkina Faso? What is it? This lack of support has deeply unsettled and revolted us. Until we truly address the core issues plaguing this country, we will remain in a state of unrest and discontent. For the moment, we've managed to secure some trucks in the army and have been using our own means to transport supplies. However, this hasn't really added much to the support for the starving populations. And even in doing this, there's been a distinct lack of empathy. The citizens were aware of the situation, but they've remained on the sidelines. This is to say that solidarity has disappeared in Burkina. Have pity for the people, have pity for the youth, have pity for the children. What have these villagers done so that when the sun sets, they find themselves in caves and under trees? They leave village after village, and in the morning they come back to see if everything is okay before returning. They sleep in the bush. They cannot sleep in their homes. We don't tell you these truths. This is the reality of Burkina. We only see our cities. We are responsible for what happens to us, and we will be fully responsible for what will follow, whether it is good or bad. It will depend on our behavior in the future. This continent has suffered so much and continues to suffer because of imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind. Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our lands belong to them. Our subsoil belongs to them. They have never been able to change the logic until today. This is deplorable. But how do they proceed? Unfortunately, it is since the 1960s that these 6,000 acres of independence have been given to Africa. They have just placed local valets at the head, according to them, of their sub-prefecture to be able to continue to feed them. These local valets, which we are going to call today the slaves of Salon, have other goals. They want to live like the master, to satisfy the master, and to do everything that the master dictates to them. They steal, they plunder our states, they bring everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like the master and always satisfy him. Do you know who these slaves of Salon are? Well, we are going to explain to you what they are. They are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the master slave has always known how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother, to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us to the benefit of their master. These individuals continue, against all odds, to help the master plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic polls, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. Very well, if we are as poor as they say. But when the time has come to take responsibility, we have asked this master to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave?
Lorsque nous prenons le cas du Niger, depuis plus de 40 ans,
When we take the case of Niger, for more than 40 years, some countries have been exploiting uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It is the light. But in Niger, it is the darkness that has served us. When you go to our states, our soils are full of precious metals, such as gold. But often there is not even the slightest road accessible to reach the areas where they exploit gold, even less certain basic social services. This is why we have decided to revolt and take the fate of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples. But when we decided so, we were approached by some saloon slaves to pass on the message of their master. Because they had created this kind of polymer chain that rises to the heads of our states to serve them. And we came to break the chain. And it is inconceivable for them. They approached us and asked us to enter the ranks to make the elite leave that must lead Africa. Because they have an elite formed and formatted that must follow, that is embedded in this chain. We refused to enter their ranks. And then the hostilities began. They have sent several mercenaries and trainers to our area. The agents have descended into the Sahel to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our people, hoping to revolt them. In addition to these attacks on the ground, the attacks on communication, manipulation, and disinformation are full in their ranks. But the people of the Sahel have understood, and we will never be able to be manipulated again. They know where they come from, they know what they are doing, and they know where they are going. We will no longer allow this. People are awake, and people are fighting today, not for ourselves, but for future generations.
Comrade President Vladimir Putin, African heads of state, Comrade head of delegation, good morning. It is an honor for me this morning to take the floor here and to pass on to you the fraternal greetings of the people of the land of men of integrity. It is from the Almighty that we have been able to gather here this morning in good health to talk about the future and the well-being of our people. I am going to apologize to the elders whom I may offend in my future remarks. Because of Africanity, because of the rights of one of them, I have to apologize. Comrade, I have a few questions from my generation. Not a single question that is being asked. We don't have an answer, and it turns out that here we can wash our linseed because we feel like a family. It feels like a family in the sense that Russia is also a family for Africa. It is a family because we have the same history. Russia made enormous sacrifices to liberate the world from Nazism during the Second World War. The people of Africa, our grandfathers, were also forcibly deported to help Europe get rid of Nazism. We share the same history in the sense that we are the forgotten peoples of the world, whether in the history books, in documentaries, or in film, insofar as we sweep away the preponderant role played by Russia and Africa in this fight against Nazism. We are here together because we are here to talk about the future of our peoples and what is to come. Of the future of tomorrow, of the free world to which we aspire, of a world without interference in our internal affairs. We have the same prospects, and I hope that this summit will be an opportunity to forge very good relations and to create a better future for our peoples. The questions that my generations are asking themselves about the next generation, if I can sum it up, is that they do not understand how Africa, with so much wealth on our soil, with its generous nature, water and abundant sunshine, Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a starving continent, and how is it that our heads of state are traveling through the world of Amand? These are questions that we are asking ourselves and that we have not yet had answers. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope that these relations can be the best, to give a better future to our peoples. My generation also instructs me to say that because of poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean in order to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean. But that soon they will not have crossed it, because they will come in front of our palaces to look for their daily sustenance. As far as Burkina Faso is concerned, for more than 8 years, we have been confronted with the most barbaric and violent form of neo-colonialism and imperialism. Slavery still has so much to impose on us. Our front runners have taught us one thing: slavery that is not capable of accepting its own revolt does not deserve to be relied upon by its fate. We don't worry about our fate. We are not asking for someone to rely on our fate. The people of Burkina Faso have decided to fight against hypothyroidism, capable of reviving its development. In this struggle, valiant peoples, wines and a population have pledged to take up arms in the face of terrorists. The ones we actually called the VDPs, volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists calling these VDPs militias and of all kinds. It is one of those wines, because in Europe, when people take up arms to defend their patriots, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their grey. Well, on the way back, we remember that in Traoré, when they tried to bandage their elemental sheet, they were massacred, so it doesn't matter. When we people decide to defend ourselves, we are called militias. But that's not the problem. What is the problem is to see African heads of state who bring nothing to these peoples who are fighting, but who sing the same thing as the imperialists. To our militia dealers, to our traders, therefore, to men who do not respect human rights, hence the human right. We are effusive against this and these shameful people. We, the African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets who dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced that the grain would be sent to Africa. And we are very happy, and we thank each other for that. But it is also a message to our African heads of state, because at the next forum, we must not come here without having ensured that our peoples will be able to achieve food self-sufficiency for those who do not know war. We need to learn from those who have already been able to achieve this in Africa. Build good relations here and build better relations with the Russian Federation so that we can meet the needs of our people. I may not be slow. Time is running out and very short. We are obliged to stop and love my take. But I would like to end by saying that we must therefore pay tribute to our peoples who are fighting. Glory to our peoples, dignity to our peoples, victory to our peoples, homeland or death will come.
It is important that these so-called Democrats understand this. When thousands of Nigerians die in hospital beds due to lack of electricity or lack of medication, it is a crime. They are responsible for these sanctions. They are responsible for these deaths. The same thing happens in Mali. With Burkina, we have indirect sanctions, because people have to understand. When they take their orders from the other side, they come and do everything to apply it. It is shameful. We are called putschists. We are not French. We do not understand what that means. And the local people, who surely do not even understand the profound meaning of the word, also call us putschis. Very well, we appropriate it. Over the years, as far as Burkina Faso is concerned, you may have noticed, all the bodies have been destructured. No more training, nothing left for the army. They imposed in all our major states, all our schools and all our strategic structures, what they called military councils. When we revolted on September 30th, 2022, the first thing was to find out who these military councils were and where they were. So we were able to identify that the evil was deep. And the first thing was to ask them to leave our army. They left. And what I told you not long ago, you cannot hope to find your lost object by calling on the one who stole it to come and help you find it. When we asked the military councils to leave, we felt manifestations. We were made to understand that we would not be able to get by without them. And every time they told us, it was translated by attacks on the ground. We received the message well. At the dawn of the year 2023, we decided to tell the foreign forces present here to leave, because we want to fight in Burkina Faso. They did not surely appreciate it, but why come and die on our land for us? We prefer to fight ourselves. We ask them to return home. Unfortunately, I tell you here today, as I like to say, colonization has returned. There are slaves of Ceylon who still have not understood. In the meantime, military officers wrote to us and approached us to tell us that it was a very bad decision and that we would not last 2 months. Files were written. We were sent these files to make a strategic analysis of their thoughts. We said either we are sovereign or we remain slaves forever. Indeed, when the last soldier left Burkina Faso, we understood what it was about. The attacks followed immediately. Dehao, Timnikov, Partiaga, and so on. But what they had forgotten was that the people of Burkina Faso had understood our message. And had engaged in the same way as we did. We reorganized quickly, and suddenly we noticed that all the sleeping terrorists had woken up in Burkina Faso. We reorganized the army as quickly as possible. At an unequal speed, we have created several units, and even if several others are yet to come, we have equipped them. And today this equipment continues because in the days to come, the months to come, what you will see coming to Burkina Faso must make our army a power to fear. We will not hesitate about the means. We understood that the fight against imperialism will be hard, very hard. But only the hard ones will pass, and the Burkinabés are hard, and we will pass. We have put on guard for more than a year the local valets, the slaves of Salon, so that they do not betray their country for the benefit of imperialism. Some have understood and organized themselves. Others have not understood. Maybe they thought they were smarter, but today we have no more feelings about this theft. Whoever betrays his country for the benefit of imperialism, he will be treated as such. Returning to our famous ECOWAS, since we decided to leave the ECOWAS, the slaves of Salon have been driven everywhere. They want to scare the people. They want to scare everyone. God, thank you. In a recent past, there were only a handful of people who had the right to speak. On the TV sets, that's what they said, who were ready for the gospel. Today, with the new technologies, which of course have advantages and disadvantages, everyone has the right to speak. And I think the Yayes are the first to confirm this. Everyone can make his own analysis of a situation. We can certainly make mistakes, but when we come to understand, we are open to explain the process. Here we will explain to you why we left the ECOWAS and where we are going. Remember that it was in 1975 that it was created. And it was created for the majority of state leaders, putschists, as they like to say. It was the military who took the power and took the responsibility to create the ECOWAS, so that there was a real economic growth of the people inside this space. Later, the so-called Democrats were invited to the heads of our states. They completely emptied the community of its foundation. When on June 26, Nigeria decided to take its destiny into its own hands, we were surprised to see the ECOWAS appear on June 16th with a force in weight. Where was this force? When thousands and thousands of Nigerians were killed by terrorists. Where was this force? When thousands of Malians and Burkinabés died under the bullets of terrorists. They said that by force they were going to house the valiant sons of Nigeria who took the destiny into their own hands. Do you believe that these are women who are in Nigeria? There are fighters there. The Nigerian army is a warrior. It has been fighting for years. It is not a parade army or a peacekeeping army. And the armies of the ECOWAS have decided to unite. We are waiting for this force in weight. It is important that these so-called Democrats understand this. When thousands of Nigerians die in hospital beds due to lack of electricity or lack of medication, it is a crime. They are responsible for these sanctions. They are responsible for these deaths. The same thing happens in Mali. With Burkina, we have indirect sanctions, because people have to understand. When they take their orders from the other side, they come and do everything to apply it. It is shameful. Some have decided not to provide electricity to our countries. It is not free. We pay, and it contributes to their economy. They have tried to make Mali suffer. And of course, by ignoring all the texts and not providing electricity to Mali, hoping that the population would revolt. It does not work. When it lasted, some were forced to make their own people pay by increasing the cost of electricity. It will increase again. This gives us several lessons. Several lessons in the sense that the independence we take, the sovereignty we take, we must do everything for it to be. They have given us very good lessons, and we have understood very well. Some have closed their ports, which goes against all international texts, because we cannot close our ports in a landless country. They did it. They violated the text. The international community did not say a word.
This battle, this war, we are going to win it, and we are going to overcome imperialism, which activated these terrorism in our region, to hope to bring us back in these colonial times, to maintain us under their yoke, to exploit us until the end of time. Africa is waking up, and no one can still close the eyes of Africans on our realities. No one can still come to divide us, to impose on us what they want. That's why we have done everything to be here today to speak to you, but also to come and wish good luck to President John Mahama. We will work together to strengthen cooperation between Burkina Faso and Ghana, and also between the AES and Ghana, because we have many challenges together and we have always been able to overcome them. There is no reason why we are not united and that we block imperialism. Stay united, and show your Burkina Faso wherever you are. Thank you very much. I am honored to address you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, on this special day, on behalf of the entire Burkina Faso community in Ghana. Your Excellency, Mr. President, the Burkina Faso community in Ghana speaks to you from the bottom of its heart to say to you, Newango, Aidanse, Fofo, Akwaba, Accra. For this new year, may the Almighty grant you and your entire family a diamond of health for the ear. On is soft. Your Excellency, Mr. President, your arrival today in Accra has fulfilled a deep dream of the Burkina Faso diaspora in Ghana to see one day its great leader, Captain Ibi, 10 sons of our ancestors, children, prodigies of Africa. Truly, this dream that thousands of Burkina Faso people in Ghana may see you, admire you, encourage you, carry you high, and tell you that they are resurrecting with your arrival. This dream that was still yesterday unexpected is a reality today. We now have faith in the future, proud and attached more than ever to our mother country, Burkina Faso. This is why, Your Excellency, I can tell you that the Burkina Faso diaspora in Ghana is constituted of an unconditional BDP on which you and the whole nation can count. Note that we, the Burkina Faso diaspora living in Ghana, we are beyond the concept of BDP. For us, it is a duty to defend the homeland. So we are DDP, Your Excellency, the community that speaks to you today is a miniature Burkina, because it is constituted of the quasi-totality of the socio-cultural, linguistic, regional and professional diversity that can be found in Burkina. Some of our members arrived in Ghana a few years ago or a few decades ago, while others may constitute the 7th or the 10th generation of their...
Hi guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I am Michelle, and if you're watching me for the first time, kindly don't forget to like, share, subscribe and even comment. So guys, in today's clip, I hope you have all watched the Ibrahim Traore speech, and we all have seen and we all know the good work that Ibrahim Traore is really doing in Burkina Faso, and he has managed to pay all the Burkina Faso debt in 2 to 3 years, which shows us that this leader is thinking about his people. And in many African countries and Caribbean countries, one of the challenge that we are facing right now is that we are having a lot of national debts, of which that national debt is always dragging us as a country down. When we have those debts to other countries, national debts, we are always finding ourselves to pay a lot of taxes. And when we are paying a lot of taxes simply because many people do not have jobs. We are paying on behalf of those people who don't have jobs. That is one thing that is dragging our countries down. And Ibrahim Traore is a leader who thinks about the future of a country, because he felt like he needs to clear the debt, because it affects the local people. It does not affect the leaders, because some of the African leaders and Caribbean leaders are just in power to squander our money, are just in power to benefit themselves, are just in power to invest in their own businesses and work on themselves only. They do not think about their people. They do not think about the local people, what they are supposed to have, what they do not supposed to have. They only think about themselves, and this tells us that Ibrahim Traoré is the kind of a leader we need in African countries and in the Caribbean. And African countries, it's high time leaders to look up to Ibrahim Traoré, because he is a true definition of a true leader, a good leader, a leader who wants his people to live in a world that is good, a leader who feels like his people are his own priority, a leader who does not think about himself, a leader who thinks about his people before himself. Ibrahim Traoré is that kind of a leader who is portraying the real meaning of leadership. He is portraying the real meaning of a good leader. He's showing us that we Africans need to wake up and choose leaders that are willing to help us. He's showing us that Africans and Caribbeans leaders are sleeping. Ibrahim Traoré is telling us that we need to elect good leaders, because these leaders are just using our resources. Ibrahim Traoré managed to remove all colonial system in in Burkina Faso. What does that tell us? It tells us that this man is thinking about the future of the people of Burkinabe. This man is thinking about the coming 5 years, 10 years, 20, 50 years of Burkina Faso. He's thinking about the people of Burkina Faso, because he felt like removing colonialism in Burkina Faso is one of the things that is dragging Burkina Faso down. While these other leaders are still supporting colonialism, yet colonialism is just there because they are coming to our countries to use our resources. Ibrahim Traoré saw the future of our people. Ibrahim Traoré saw the future of the people of Burkina Faso. He felt the pain of the people of Burkina Faso, and he made sure that he is making things right in Burkina Faso. And that is exactly what this president is really doing. Him being the youngest president and outsmarting African president and Caribbean presidents who are older than him is just a shame. Those African leaders and Caribbean leaders who are not like Ibrahim Traoré, shame on you. Shame on you, because tell me why a young upcoming president is coming to outsmart you. A young upcoming president can see the future of his people, yet you old people who are in those seats have never noticed the suffering of your people. Ibrahim Traoré is telling us the true meaning of leadership, and he needs all our support, because he is doing whatever he was elected to do. He is not there to squander our money. He is sacrificing for his people. He is making sure. But Ibrahim Traoré made sure that educational system in Burkina Faso is free, because education is key, and he felt like everybody needs it, and he is fighting for it. because nobody in Burkina Faso will never complain of not going to school. Because the educational system in Burkina Faso is free. No anyone is allowed to go to school. Ibrahim Traoré thought about the future of his people, and African leaders and Caribbean leaders should look after Ibrahim Traoré because he is doing what he was elected to do. He is doing what a good leader should do. He is portraying the true meaning of leadership, and he is giving us hope where we lost. We all know there is light at the end of the tunnel because he came us to show us that there is light. He is the leader we were waiting for. He is like our savior. He has come to save us. And these African leaders who are just puppets should stop whatever they're doing and fight for our rights. Because we are the ones who chose them, not those colonial governments that are coming to use them as puppets. We are the one who chose those leaders, and we chose them for a purpose. We chose them to rule us. We chose them to guide us, not to squander our money, not to steal from us, not to just benefit themselves. They were chosen for a reason, and their reason is what Ibrahim Traoré is doing. Ibrahim Traoré is doing on their behalf. Ibrahim Traoré is trying he is trying his level best to do what he can do to help the people of Burkina Faso. He's trying his level best to change everything in Burkina Faso. Infrastructure, education, hospitals, everything is being changed in Burkina Faso. Everything is being working up. Everything is being done differently in Burkina Faso right now. They are using their minerals to make themselves rich, to benefit themselves. That's why Ibrahim Traoré removed the colonial system in Burkina Faso, because they were using their gold, and he felt like, no, this is my country's gold and my people are the ones who are supposed to benefit from them. That's why he removed those colonial system in Burkina Faso. So guys, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and even comment for more videos. Let's know more what is happening in our countries, what the kind of leaders we need and the kind of leaders we want. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Let's meet on our next video.